Sônia Samba is Zuqueira from site of Brazil SB television. Today we have one special man. He is Nicholas Bumble. How are you, Nicholas?
I'm good, Sonia.
Okay, you can talk from site of Brazil television about yourself.
I come from a theater background. I've worked as a director and a producer for years. I've produced in New York, I've produced in Kyoto, Japan, where I have my own theater group, and I also have worked in independent film. And a lot of Zouk is, a lot of stuff I do is I've been able to take all the skills I've learned in my life and apply them, such as marketing, promoting, producing, directing, and I applied them to Zouk. It's very rare in life that you can take all these skills that you learned and put them to use at something that you love.
Exactly, I saw this. And talk about why you think Zouk is the dance in the century 21st.
Yeah, I've said that a few times. I refer to Zouk as being the dance of the 21st century because I think it's simply a product of the times we live in. And what I mean by that is with the advent of the internet and information traveling faster and man is more mobile than he's ever been before, you are watching cultures start to, geography is becoming irrelevant. And as a result, cultures are kind of bleeding together and they're producing new and exciting forms of art. And Zouk is an example of that because you have a dance that started in Guadeloupe and Martinique. Exactly. Originally, it went to Brazil, it merged with Lambada, and from there it's gone on to Europe, Holland, Spain, and from there on to Israel, Africa, Australia, Japan. And it is a multicultural dance, and what's exciting about Zouk is the fact that it is changing. Every culture that it meets is adding their own twist, and you have variations. You have Zouk Flow, you have Zouk Revolution. It really is a dance that's alive. It's changing. It's not stayed, and that's the reason I call it the dance of the 21st century. It couldn't have happened 20 years ago.
Can you talk about Zouk Nation? What is Zouk Nation?
Zouk Nation is a group that I started about 2 years ago, and it was more or less that I came on the scene and I was not a dancer, but I was so charged and excited about this that I started thinking along the lines of how can I help this dance scene grow in New York. And I immediately realized there's 4 problems if you want Zouk to grow in New York and the United States. One is you can't get the music.
Exactly.
It's like if I go to Times Square, the Virgin Record store, you can't buy a single album. There's not one album of Zouk for sale. But if I go to Paris, the Champs-Élysées, and I go into the Virgin Record store, there's a whole section. Number 2, there's no place to dance. Number 3 is what I call the what the hell is it factor, because most Americans don't know what Zouk is. So a lot of it's about education. And the last one is the fact that we don't have enough instructors here. So everything my group does focuses on addressing one of those problems. For example, for the problem with the music, we've created a podcast. It's going to launch in a few months, going to bring some of the music, some of the incredible recording artists, bring them to the United States so people can hear this music. For the fact that there's no place to dance, we've been building relationships with bars and clubs around town. One of them is La Vagina in the East Village, where every Thursday night we have a free dance lesson followed by a dance party. The third one, the what the hell is it factor, that's about getting Zouk out into the public where they can see it. Having huge events like we just recently had a Brazilian carnival at the 92nd Street Y where 200 people who had never seen Zouk or even knew what it was came. They got a dance lesson, they learned about it. And we also did Zouk in Central Park. And the last thing is the instructors. We work with instructors overseas. We encourage them to come here. We set up workshops. All they do is they contact us. They say, we'd love to come to New York, and we say, we want to help you come to New York.
And for example, I know about Zouk New York because I went to computer, it say Zouk in New York. First word is Zouk Nation. This is why I said this group, Zouk Nation, is too good. And I saw like a family. I feel because I am in the group, Zouk Nation, and I feel like a family.
Yeah, I remember the first day you came to a workshop. I remember meeting you the first time, yeah.
Exactly, but I know this because I'm checking the computer. You say Zouk in New York, you say the Zouk Nation. But tell us more about Zouk in Central Park. What happened? Because something special has before the Zouk in Central Park.
Zouk in Central Park started about a year ago, and it's every Sunday from Memorial Day weekend to Labor Day weekend during the summer at 6 o'clock, we dance Zouk by the lake next to Bethesda Fountain, and it's free, and we offer instruction. Again, it's about getting it out to the public where people can see it. We pick up a lot of students. So at 4 o'clock to 5 o'clock we have a beginning class. 5 to 6 o'clock we have an intermediate class, and we take all those students and we get on the subway, go one stop down and walk into the park.
But where is the place, the studio, the dress?
Oh, it's Ripley Greer's studio, 939 8th Avenue in Midtown between 55th and 56th. And all the information, if you're interested in the class, you can find on the Zouk Nation website.
Zouk Nation. And who teaches this class?
Pedro Mesquita, very talented young teacher we have in from Brazil, and very, very popular, and he's changing the face of Zouk in New York as we speak.
This is Zouqueiro Carioca. But Nicholas,
yes.
Thank you so much for you coming in our
program. Thank you for inviting me and letting me talk about it.
I hope everybody can go to Central Park and can check it's free. Check what means Zouk, because this is a great opportunity, because I am Zouqueiro too.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, okay, Sonia, Samba, and Zouqueira, and Nicholas from site of Brazil SOB Television. Bye!
Detonou, me desnorteou. Nada mais tem graça a não ser se eu for te ver. E fui ao baile mesmo sem saber dançar. O corpo se movia como o mar, nas mãos do vento, os braços dele a te arrastar, e eu quase sem poder respirar.